Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 109 of the Classic Wrestling series. So, ladies and gentlemen, back in episode 57, I want to say, we did Bash at the Beach 1997, I believe. Give me a second. It's always good having the look here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just double confirm. Yes, 1996, my apologies. That was the last time we had a look at Bash at the Beach. Why don't we have a look at a show from 1998? Let's say July 12th, from San Diego, California, at the Cots Arena, where 10,095 fans witnessed Bash at the Beach 1998. This is noticeable for two reasons. One, Dennis Rodman, and two, Karl Malone. Now, I know who Dennis Rodman is. He's a basketball player. Karl Malone, I'm guessing, is also a basketball player. I have no idea who these guys, well, Karl Malone is. But this is going to be entertaining. We also have Goldberg versus Kurt Hennig for the WCW World title. Let's start the show, shall we? So, we just had Raven versus Perry Saturn in a Raven's Rules match. They used the guardrail a lot in this match. Funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Raven's on the table, so Perry Saturn goes, I know, I'm going to stack another table on top. Canyon comes out to basically hit the flatliner, and then Perry Saturn just goes, screw it, I've already seen that Raven's taken off the table, I'm going to go through the table. Doesn't break. It fucking sucked, it looked like. Raven wins with the even flow DDT at the end after everyone gets involved. It is a Raven's Rules match. Then Eddie comes out to talk about his match with Chavo Guerrero Jr., which is going to be a hair versus hair match. But at the same time, we are going to be getting Stevie Ray versus Chavo Guerrero. Yeah, we know who's going to have his head shaved tonight. So that's entertaining. And now we've currently got Juventud Guerrero versus Kidman, or Billy Kidman in WWE. So let's continue watching this match. So, we just had Juventud Guerrero versus Kidman. This is Kidman's pay-per-view debut on the actual pay-per-view. This was actually very entertaining. The crowd weren't into it. They weren't exactly in for the match. They were very quiet. I think it was more respect than anything, hopefully. But there were some very good high-flying moves from both guys. Kidman can hit that, the shooting star press, he calls it the 7-year itch in WCW, very well. Hit it, completely missed. Hoovy with the 450 to get the win. Landed on his damn knees in Kidman's ribs. That looked like it fucking hurt. Beautiful jumping spinebuster from the middle rope from Kidman. That was nice onto Juventud Guerrero. But again, this was really good. I mean, also the Hoover driver gets a 2, which is a Mission Auto driver. Originally, it's named a Mission Auto driver. But again, this was just an entertaining matchup. Again, the crowd were really quiet, but I think it was more out of respect for both men. We've got Conan on WCWWrestling.com talking on AOL. I don't know if he's in a match tonight, could be wrong. But we're going to see what's next, guys, and hopefully it's another good match. So, we just had Stevie Ray versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. in a very quick match. There's a reason for it, because Chavo and Stevie Ray shook hands, but then Chavo submitted. Basically said, I submit, from a handshake. Kinda actually ingenious, because he's got a hair versus hair match with Eddie coming up next. He wants to be fresh, so there you go. Just say that I submit to a handshake. It's kinda smart. I mean, yeah, I didn't particularly want to see Stevie Ray wrestle. This is the best way around it. So it kind of works. And we get a damn good matchup with Chavo versus Eddie. So I'm looking forward to this one. So let's watch Eddie versus Chavo. So we just had Eddie Guerrero versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. in the hair versus hair match. This was good. I have to admit, guys, I was very entertained by this. It's Eddie and Chavo Guerrero. Two of my favorite wrestlers inside of the WCW, WWE, and it was very entertaining to see these two wrestle. But at the same time, when Chavo's doing comedy, I'm not massively a fan of it. I am a fan of it to a degree, but I just enjoy the fact of seeing Chavo actually wrestle and actually being a good wrestler, because he can do it. He can perform as being a good wrestler, but most people know him for doing the comedy stuff. You know, some more of the comedy stuff, more noticeably when he was in the the faction with Edge, Vicky Guerrero, and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, La Familia, I believe that the name of the faction was in WWE around 2007 or so. But it was, this match was really good. When these guys wrestle, these guys fucking wrestle, and they are great. I've said before, Eddie Guerrero is my favourite wrestler. I have no problems with Eddie Guerrero. When he does comedy, I enjoy it a little bit more than when Chavo does it. I do believe the reason why is the China Eddie Guerrero storyline from back in 1999 in the WWF. Those two just played off each other really fucking well. So I'm more of a fan of technical wrestling and wrestling on a whole, but I can enjoy comedy wrestling when it is done very well. Orange Cassidy, Colt Cabana, guys like those, I enjoy when it's a properly good comedy match. It is entertaining. It can be. I have to admit that one. But I do enjoy all sorts of wrestling and all kinds of wrestling. I do enjoy them. I do believe that they've had matches within the Guerrero family before. I don't think they've ever had... I think they have had Hector versus Eddie before, but I believe it was under the Black Tiger gimmick in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I could be wrong on that one. But again, just... this match is good because it's two people who know each other very well, who've known each other for years, being able to play off each other. And yeah, this was a very entertaining matchup. As well, the commentary. Mike Today on commentary in this time is fucking brilliant. I enjoy it when Mike Today's on commentary because you actually get facts, you actually get moves, you actually get the correct moves, you get history. Like during the show, Today brings up the fact that Eddie Guerrero is 5-1 in hair versus hair matches, and brings up the fact that him and his partner, I can't remember his name. Give me a second. I've got it here. Art Barr, I think his name was. But at Worlds Collide back a few years ago, they lost a hair versus hair tag team match, and they were shaved bald. Even Bobby Heenan's like, "How do you know that?" And it's like, "I was there." Oh, okay. I believe I was WCW New Japan when World Collide. I could be wrong on that one, completely wrong. But this was a good matchup. The commentary played it off well. Mike Today being on commentary was fucking perfect. And again, Eddie wins with a roll up, so Chavo shaves his own head by going nuts, and it's like, what the fuck? And everyone, again, it's comedy to a degree, but it's also entertaining, and I do enjoy this match. So, guys, our next matchup, I have no idea what it's going to be. Let's see what it's going to be. So, we just had a special attraction match. It's a fucking added match that was literally added like probably an hour before the fucking show started. So we had Conan versus Disco Inferno. Obviously, Kevin Nash and Lex Luger were in the corner of Conan, and Alex Wright was in the corner of Disco Inferno. So, Wolfpack, NWO Wolfpack. I completely forgot that this was around that time. So, I said in one of my reviews, I can't remember which one, might have been Bash at the Beach, I could be wrong again, that the NWO split into two parties, NWO Black and White, which was held up by Hogan, and Wolfpack, which was run by Kevin Nash. So this was just a quick, entertaining matchup for the fans, I would say. Conan was over, Kevin Nash was over, obviously. Entertaining, we did see a lot of Conan's maneuvers, but at the same time, Conan gets out of the ring, Alex Wright beats him up a bit, Lex Luger hits the torture rack on Alex Wright, Kevin Nash runs in, big boot, powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, well, submission win for Conan, not 1, 2, 3, do apologise. Tequila Sunrise gets the win for Disco Inferno. It's verbal submissions, not tap out at this current moment in time. That wouldn't come around until 99, if I recall, when Taz made it into WWE. Or 2000, I can't remember. It was a year or two later when the tap out was introduced. So what is our next matchup? Please be something good. we have the Giant. Okay. Yay. So we've got a big show. So let's do this. Oh, okay. So we just had Kevin Green versus the Giant. I believe Kevin Green's been on the show before because I definitely remember watching a match between Kevin Green and Steve Monroe McMichael, and I remember that match being fucking awful. This was. It was a match, okay? The bell rang, there was a match, the bell ended after Giant hit a chokeslam on Kevin Green to get the win. He looked okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a non-professional wrestler. You know, this is a footballer getting into professional wrestling. I mean, for fuck's sake, this is the man who convinced Goldberg to enter professional wrestling. That's real. Again, it was a match. It was okay for what it was. He looked okay in it, but at the same time, Giant was going to win. That's all I'm going to say. So we've got Kurt Hennig talking about Goldberg because 6 days ago, pay-per-view wise, Hogan was beaten by Goldberg to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on Monday Nitro. Yeah, they didn't save it for the fucking pay-per-view. It was Hollywood Hogan versus Goldberg on a random ass episode of Raw, Nitro, and Goldberg wins the belt. So the United States title is in abeyance, obviously, because Goldberg is the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. So we're going to find out what that is happening now. Currently we've got Dean Malenko and Booker T from Nitro that week, and obviously what happened with Chris Jericho. This was one of my favourite feuds, actually, Jericho versus Dean Malenko. I've got to watch Slamboree 1998, I believe it is. Where these two faced off for the Cruiserweight Championship. I have to watch that match. So we're going to find out what's going on with Jericho and the Cruiserweight Championship, so let's find out. So just to bring you guys a little bit up to speed on what's happened. So Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko were feuding over the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Basically, Jericho was trying anything and everything to get out of A, losing the championship, and B, facing Dean Malenko. So there was a lot of different things that he tried to do. He would go to Congress, he would read books, trying to find a way to basically keep the Cruiserweight Championship. Gotta admit, it was absolutely brilliant. Jericho doing comedy in this era is fucking amazing. I love him when he does comedy, I love him when he does technical wrestling and all that jazz. I love Jericho as well. So, on Monday Nitro, just gone, Dean Malenko and Jericho were told that they could not attack each other prior to Bash at the Beach. If so, that person would be immediately disqualified and the match would not take place. Jericho brings up the fact that his dad was away, just like his dad, obviously. His dad was Jericho's dad was a hockey player, Dean's dad was a wrestler. Basically mentions his mother, Dean's actual daughter, and says that him and his brother look nothing alike because obviously, you know, infidelity. And Malenko snaps, attacks Jericho, rightfully deserved, but obviously the match is not taking place. But instead, we are going to have, I believe it's Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Jericho for the belt. So, let's find out and watch it. So, obviously, it is Rey Mysterio Jr. because we had Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Chris Jericho for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. This was a no disqualification match. They only used the chair a couple of times, but it was still entertaining. Ray does sell the leg a little bit, not majorly and not all the time, but he does sell it. Beautiful Hurricanrana from the top of the beach chair you have, like people, lifeguards keep an eye on sometimes. But yeah, this was a good matchup. A beautiful counter to the Lion Tamer where Ray just runs through and just hugs the legs for the win. But yeah, it's entertaining, but this is still a feud going on between Dean Malenko and Jericho. Jericho would actually regain the title the next night on Nitro after a technicality in the paperwork, stating that no suspended wrestler or employee of WCW can be at ringside, so that's how Jericho gets the belt back. Kind of a shitty thing to do, but at the same time, Jericho is the chitin shit heel, so he wants to, get back the title, so using paperwork to do that, very entertaining. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the World TV title match. Bret Hart versus Booker T, I want to say. I think it is Booker T. This is going to be good. So we just had Bret Hart versus Booker T, and this match was going really well. Until Bret Hart used the steel chair and got DQ'd. Fuck! It was entertaining. I mean, this would roll into Stevie Ray versus Booker T for the Harlem Heat name, coming up later. But at the same time, this could have been a really good match, and, you know, Bret just decides to fucking, you know, go heel and, you know, hurt Booker, which is upsetting. He already had an injury due to wrestling Chris Benoit in the Best of 7 series, if I recall. But it was still, for what we had, it was still very entertaining, I have to admit. But the ending just sucked. It's one of those things. So, now we have a special look at Goldberg versus Kurt Hennig coming up tonight. But they are repeating what happened on fucking Nitro. Now, yes, granted, Nitro did beat Raw in the ratings this night, but they had a fucking pay-per-view 6 days later. Why didn't they just do this? Instead, we've got the tag team main event match. Fucking hell. But bar that is one of those things. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to Goldberg versus Kurt Hennig. Okay, hey guys. So, I just decided to have a quick look at the ratings for the July 6th editions of Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw. Raw did a 4.0. Okay, that's fair enough. Nitro did a 4.8. 4.8. Because Goldberg versus Hogan was for the WCW Championship. Now, I get it to a degree. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. They needed a booster to boost the ratings because A, they were getting their asses kicked because of Austin winning the belt at WrestleMania 14. And to be honest, we all know the outcome of this match. Spear, Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, Goldberg wins. Surprise. To be fair, Hennig actually managed to put on a bit of a decent match with him. I mean, he did slow it down a bit as well, targeting Goldberg's legs, which made a lot of sense, I thought, actually. But again, Goldberg's undefeated. He's like 1-11 at this point, I think, going into 112 tonight. But it was actually kind of good. You know, the match was okay, really okay for a Goldberg match. But July 6th combined was an 8.8. That's how insane wrestling was in 1998 in July. You know, that particular the first Raw, the first episode, the first week of July, sorry, 8.8 people, 8.8 in the ratings. That's pretty fucking big, in 1998, guys. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you had another fucking pay-per-view 6 days later. You could have done a massive draw. But at the same time, they had to do the main event, which was Hogan and Dennis Rodman versus DDP and Carl Colon, or whatever his name is. I can't think of his name now. Two basketball players getting in the ring. What the fuck is going on? But again, this was a good showing from Goldberg. I kind of have to admit that. Again, Spear, Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Ever in doubt, bar, Starrcade 1999 or 99. I believe it was 99. It was a good matchup. I have to admit the set looked really good for Bash at the Beach. WCW could always do very good stage props. I have to admit that. So we've got our main event. It's the tag team match. Let's just fucking get to it. So we just had the tag team main event, and I'm sorry guys, but I am starving. Cheesecake. Anyway. Thank God I had sugar. So we just had this tag team match, and it fucking sucked. You got Dennis Rodman, you got the Mailman, which was they were just crap. Sorry, can't help it, they were crap. This entire match was just rubbish. If it was just DDP versus Hogan with them both in the same corner, in their respective corners, then that's fair enough. But why wasn't the Mailman pinned in this match? I don't get it. DDP gets pinned after the Disciple hits him with a stunner, then 1, 2, 3, bang, NWO win. Fucking sucked. Absolutely goddamn sucked. So this match, this has left a sour taste in my mouth. It was awful, and it just sucked ass. Main event should have been Henning versus Goldberg for the belt. Sorry, it should have been. That's my personal opinion on it. But one moment. Sorry about that, guys. Just had a quick call from Declan. Shout out, brother. Love you to bits, mate. But yeah, this match just fucking sucked. It was awful. So what did I think of the show overall? It was a decent show. Don't get me wrong. Bar the main event and the quick title match, I thought this was okay, and the TV title match. Yeah, it was an okay show. Favorite match of the night? Probably Eddie versus Chavo. I gotta admit that one. Least favorite? Bret versus Booker, because they could do so much better. So, guys, that is episode 109 of the Classic Wrestling Series done and dusted. I will see you later today, well, early tomorrow morning, but AEW Winter is coming. I am looking forward to this show. I think it's going to be a damn good show. So, with that being said, guys, I will see you then. TCFN. Ta-ta for now.